how many YouTube videos have you watched where you've never
Commented
left
on
a
every
comment?
single thing? Yeah.
Never. I can't tell you the last time I
How many
commented on a
times have you
YouTube
done it
video.
and not hit the like button, but yet you go back to
Right.
watch this guy's content every week?
Yeah. I even just subbing sometimes is an interaction that like
I watched
I will
multiple people on
sometimes
YouTube up until like this year where I realized it mattered. I watched people
right.
on YouTube. I never subbed. I didn't care to sub. I
Yeah.
don't want the alert on my phone. Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the very first episode of the Wink and Ryan show, or the Ryan and Wink show, or the whatever way you guys want to call it. At the end of the day, we're here. Yeah. At the end of the day, we're here. We're hanging out. It's the first episode. We just kind of wanted to introduce ourselves, tell you a little background story, kind of ask each other. Wow, we're gonna start with words are hard right off the bat. Yeah, we're just gonna ask each other some questions and kind of wonder some things and explain some things to you guys that you were wondering about. This first episode, as you heard, will be all about the intro and hanging out together, and just kind of getting to know us a bit. So without any further ado, I am NewfoundWink.
I am Ryan Austin HD.
What's the HD stand for?
It depends on who you ask.
Ask your wife, and we all know what it stands for. Hey-o!
Oh, high definition, I guess, even though that was popular, 10 years ago? So, whatever.
Hey, it is what it is. It's better than me in low definition.
That's true.
But yeah,
4K might be a little odd.
I like the HD, man. I think it just kind of rolls off the tongue. Ryan Austin HD, you know what I mean?
Well, there's Ryan Austin was taken, so,
fair.
Kind of had to add something.
Fair.
Well, what's your name about? That's a question that most people probably might not know, or maybe they do.
Mine's an interesting one. When I first started streaming back in 2019, I was actually Wink 709. Wink because my dad's called me it since I was a child, and I don't really know why. It kind of just was a thing. And the area code to where I was 709 because I couldn't just get Wink on social medias. They just obviously were gone. And after a while, I kind of like went through it, and I was like, other than like Darkness and Stone, like there's nobody with a number in their name. Like I need to get rid of this somehow. And the area code was for a province in Canada where I'm from called Newfoundland. So I was like, I wonder if I can do something with that. So I took Newfound and I took Wink and shoved them together and ended up with NewfoundWink. And yeah, it kind of stuck, and all social medias have it. So it was really awesome and really easy. And it was amazing because I could just do like blank.com/NewfoundWink and it made life easy. So yeah, I don't know. At some point,
like I feel like through your social media, I've seen people recognize Newfound more than the 709. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Like, you're a Newfie?
Yeah, I get a lot of people like, which is kind of funny because like in the beginning, everybody called me Wink, but then like I get a lot of people now where like you meet them for the first time or so on and so forth, and they're like, "Yo, what's up, Newfound?" And I'm like,
yeah,
I kind of like the ring of that though. Like that's kind of dope. I'm not gonna lie. So
yeah.
But it is what it is for the OGs.
That was actually true with my gamer name that I had previous to mine. I had Rhino. Obviously Rhino was taken. That was one that I could not get, spelled RYNO. So I went Crimson Rhino, and that was the same thing with me, where it's like Crimson Rhino was more like the description, but people started calling me Crimson. I was like, no, it's the Rhino is the main.
That's not my name. Shut up. Take out the eraser
like
or some
jacket. You don't call him Yellow or something.
That's not true. I definitely do that. I've had people come into stream and their name is like Chill Brad, and I'll be like, "What's up, Chill?" They're like, "Oh, my name's Brad." I'm like,
yeah.
You're right. That probably would have made sense. But you look at things quickly, man, and that's what comes out for me. I'm not really sure why, but yeah, it is what it is.
It's funny though, like everybody's hates their first gamer tag name.
I don't. I love mine. I had the greatest first gamer tag name of all time.
Was that your original?
No.
No.
My first ever one was on Xbox, Mr. Deeds, and I got it.
Nice.
Mr. Deeds. Straight up. Mr. Deeds. And I got it. I was like, this is the greatest thing.
Why did you move away from that?
Because I was like 17 or 18, and I was like,
you loved it though.
Yeah, but like when you grew up and Adam Sandler's not that funny anymore during that, I need to be cool stage of your life, everyone made fun of me for it, so I got rid of it. And then this kind of happened. Plus, it'd be hard to go around. It's like, hey, do you know Mr. Deeds? Like, yeah, of course.
Yeah,
it's like,
that is one of the famous ones. Like people who call themselves Batman. Like, really, no one's gonna find you on the internet. Like,
Christian Bale.
That's a dope name. that's a dope name, but like, no one's gonna Google Batman, and
You're
not
never
gonna
gonna show up.
yeah.
Never.
But
No, I don't know. I agree, but it is what it is. But I have a question.
yes,
Let's do this first and start it off the bat. What do you do? And for people that already know the answer to that question, here's my follow-up. How the are you so good at it?
what do I do? And okay, well, that's subjective. First off, well, I guess okay. Me, I'm not a gamer. I mean, I guess I am a gamer. I do game, but I'm not a professional gamer. Like my or do I point over here? See, I point over here. I pointed over there. We did the thing.
It's okay, but we just need to start doing this. I'm gonna do
Anyways,
this one day and not see it because the mic's gonna hide it. So
just a little FYI on that. We're recording this on Discord, so one of us is flipped. We're both recording it.
For those of you on YouTube that will see this, you're gonna laugh. For those of you on, if we end up on Spotify and shit, you're just gonna think we're crazy.
That's true. I keep forgetting that this could be an audio version too. Just imagine me pointing with your ear balls.
Pointing with your ears? Wow, okay.
With your ear balls. Anyways, yes. So God, we're gonna get off tangent a lot.
Oh,
here, so
100%. I hope you guys are not ready
plot.
for a podcast that is like to the point and straight up. Like it's just something silly and great to listen to for a while, because that's what it's gonna be.
Anyways, so I am not necessarily a gamer. I am in the gaming space, but I'm an editor. I actually met Wink. When did we meet? This is back in Among Us. So, I mean, I guess in context of now, if you guys can remember when Among Us was like at its prime.
I want to say almost a year.
Has it been that? I don't know if
well,
it's been a year
I think we started working together in like September, October, because
I
remember
the end of 2020. So
yeah.
2020, my years, yes. 2021, yes.
Yeah, so I think it was like September-ish
second half, yeah.
That we started working together, and it was like a week or two before that, like a couple weeks before that. So it's almost been a year. It's August.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Dang, this year's gone by fast.
Crazy.
Anyways, started working with Wink. He was my first quote unquote client within my professional realm of editing. I had been editing for several years prior. Just never took it to a professional level. Little known fact about me, I actually hate editing. No, I love it. It's fun. I come from a film background. I graduated from Full Sail University back in 2016 with a film degree. And I am more of a film guy. I like my cameras. I like my lights. I like everything that comes down to film. Editing was definitely at the very end of that list. But it's it was kind of a hidden talent. I used to edit like when I was a kid, and I just do funny little montages of just anime or just something dumb. And I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the storytelling aspect of that. And I was like, you know what? I can actually probably turn this into a business. And that's kind of where it started out. And then I met Wink very shortly after that. And then
shit went downhill fast from there.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, 100%. Facts.
A lot of learning, and yeah, no, I definitely realized I had a hidden talent for it. I think when it comes to film in general, I'm more talented than I give myself credit for. But
I agree.
It's definitely that's more my background of all that. But yeah.
Fair enough.
If that answers your question.
Fair enough. It does
so
indeed.
The flip side of that question is, who the hell are you, and what's up with who's NewfoundWink?
If I knew the answer to that question, I would probably be more successful than I am. Yeah. Long story short, man, I'm a weirdo. You talk about like cool facts and random things, like you just said, like cool fact. Like I actually don't even really like editing. I was a kid, grew up small town, little island in Canada. Grew up with a dream of playing hockey and just kind of played video games on the side because I hated school. When I was graduating high school, I went away to play junior, played junior, did all that. I got an invite to an emergency goaltender call up for the Ice Caps, these guys back here. Which basically just means somebody got hurt. They don't have time to fly anybody in. They need somebody from around that can hold their own in case the other guy got hurt, that you could play. So I did that, and I did warm-ups, and I did all that stuff. And I kind of thought that was the end of it, but it, like, in my world, it was the last game of the year. And they had their big team after party, went downtown, had a credit card on a bar with $10,000 on it that they could spend up to, which was absurd. So yeah, that was kind of a thing. So in doing that, I kind of got to know a bunch of them, got to hang out with a bunch of them, got to do all these things. And lo and behold, the following September, I went away to the University of Brock to play university hockey and go to school and stuff. And when I was up there, they actually called me. They were like, hey, Montreal's having issues with who they want to keep. We thought Charlie was getting sent down, but he's not. Do you want to come to camp? And I was like, well, I'm in Ontario. Like, I'm not in Newfoundland anymore. Like, I can't do like the whole emergency thing. They were like, no. Like, do you want to come to camp? And it, like, yes, the odds of you making the team are not very high, but they're there. If you come in and you light the lamp and you do well, then you can make the team. And I was like, holy shit. So it's like an actual tryout for the AHL. And I was like,
is this a professional level?
yeah. So like the NHL is the top of the top.
Right.
And the AHL is their farm system. And for those of you that don't know what a farm system is, basically every team is allowed X amount of players. So whatever, say 25. And if an organization has like 40 players, those remaining 15 guys get sent to the AHL and they work as a team against all the other teams who had extra guys. And it's like the farm system. So they'll develop a kid, get him better, so on and so forth, and then pull him up to the NHL. So it's like one step below.
Are you familiar with American baseball at all?
To an extent, I know the Blue Jays. Woohoo! Go Blue Jays!
So, I feel like they have something pretty similar. Maybe I'm not a sports guy, so I'm just kind of guessing here. But there's like the major league and the minor league.
Yeah, so it's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
So I think the only, and I could be wrong in saying this too, but I think the only like true league that doesn't really have one is the NFL. Basketball has the D League, they call it. And it's like their step under. Basically, long story short, it's like the players that are going to be in the NHL, but like aren't quite good enough to be there just yet, they go and they play this league, or they're probably a little bit younger, or maybe they're older and they were good enough to be in the NHL, but they're just not quite anymore, but they're not ready to retire. Right. Things like that. It's like the one step below. So yeah, so I did that. And when I was there, it was just a crazy, surreal experience. And it kind of put me in the situation where I was like, okay, I've kind of done everything I can do except for playing the NHL at this point, which I knew was completely unrealistic. And just, I know, chase your dreams, but to an extent, you got to kind of be like, okay, I'm not anywhere near that. But like, so I did the absolute most I could possibly do. And where I live, university is extremely cheap. So I came home and was doing university, and I was doing it for a while, and started streaming, and started only recently making content, YouTubes, podcasts, TikToks, all that stuff with you and myself, and getting it going. And I actually, to the funny fact, to the weird point, I actually never finished school. I have 4 courses left, and I cannot convince myself to go back and do them.
University, you mean?
Yeah, of university, to do a business degree. I have 4 courses left to finish. So, yeah, I just started streaming, and like I said in the beginning, I was Wink709, and I streamed on Facebook, as crazy and weird as that sounds right about now.
I think it's where a lot of people started lately. So
yeah, and I think to an extent, I think it's a great spot to start. The algorithm is crazy and wonky and insane, but when you're tiny and you're not going to hit it to begin with, it's a great spot to share to your family and friends, and build that first 5 to 6 people watching, and get some momentum. Or
at the very least, it's a great place to learn.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
To learn how to stream.
Absolutely. And everybody and their dog, to an extent, has a Facebook. I don't know if that's really true anymore, but like your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your aunt, your friends, you whatever, have one. Right. And Facebook has a really good small streamer knit community where like small streamers try to help out each other until they eventually blow up. Now, different story once you're big, and that's a story for another day. But yeah, so I started there, and then in August 27th, I guess technically it was like the 20th, but I don't count it because I did like 7 like 5-minute streams to get my affiliation and all that stuff. So my first ever like true stream, my year anniversary for streaming on Twitch or whatever is August 27th of this year, and that'll be a year. So it was pretty crazy. So that's kind of where I've came, and Yeah, actually, ironically enough, today Symphony rated me, which was a little bit crazy. So I set out a goal that I wanted to be 2,500 minimum to like 5,000 max within my first year. I figured they were like realistic numbers without feeling like unaccomplished on a platform that doesn't have any discoverability. And up until this point, I didn't do anything to revolve discoverability because that was Facebook kind of wraps it all into one tiny bow. So he did that today, and I actually broke it today of 2517, which is nice. So broke that today. So yeah. So basically, I full-time stream on Twitch, and I create vlog and content house, and we're venturing into some more YouTube stuff like the podcast and things like that, and I make stupid, funny, ridiculous TikToks about missing your shots and admitting to them and shit like that, and not telling kids they're one shot. But yeah, basically, I just kind of threw a name on based on where I'm from and my heritage, and I stream video games, and I try to laugh and enjoy it and be a spot that people can show up and be like, okay, he's above average, he's good to watch, but it's more of like a vibe, good vibes. It's more of like a good vibes than it is a 63 kill bomb, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Yeah, man. I'm playing with this stupid little thing. It's sorry, I get really like, do you have like Jimmy leg?
Yeah,
I get Jimmy leg really bad, but my desk is a little bit wonky, so when I do it, my camera shakes. So I like put something in my hand so that I wouldn't do it, and I've been playing with it, and it's the wireless adapter for my mouse. So I've been like playing with that the whole time, and yeah, I don't know. My head wanders.
If I didn't have headphones and a camera in front of me right now, like if I had a phone call, if this was a phone call, I'd be walking the entire house right now, like just always
naked, ass naked, walking around the house, pacing on the phone. That's what I do every time. I had a phone call this morning. I was sitting down on the toilet, got a phone call, picked up the phone call, turned out to be like an actual, like some sort of an important phone call. And all of a sudden, like 5 minutes into the phone call, I realized I'm standing in front of my desk, walking through the room, ass naked, just on the phone, talking to this dude after taking a dump. Like, what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was just, I don't know. I'm like, shit like that is so weird to me.
Yep.
But yeah,
it's like those memes you see the people on their phone and then like they're on the roof just talking, like how they even get up there. Yeah, that's me.
Oh, yeah. Funny story. I'll be quick, I promise. But you just made me think of this, and I think it's a great story. Me and my buddy went to Mexico.
Oh wow. Okay.
And you know, like the rooftop villa things with like the glass balconies that are like really fucking expensive and all this shit that like overlook the resorts that you can like pay a lot of money to get in.
Yeah. Okay.
We were out one day and we were drinking tequila only the whole day. Absolutely smashed. And we were walking back to our room. Two of the girlfriends are passed out. One of my buddies is passed out. Everybody's gone to bed out of it. And it's like 3:00 in the morning. And we're wandering around this resort like, bro, I'm not ready for bed yet. He was like, yeah, me neither. I was like, all right, let's go back. So, and I was like, well, what are we going to do? And he said, I don't know. I said, oh, fuck it. Let's go back. We'll get some sleep. Get up tomorrow. All right. On the way back, found a door with like a lock on it, like a hook lock, if you know what I'm talking about.
The padlock. Or
yeah.
whatever.
And it was open.
Uh-oh.
We had to go up, dude. We had to go up. So we snuck up this fucking like spiral staircase thing of this padlock, got up top, and it was like this gravel portion of the roof.
Right.
And me and my buddy are up there, and we were up there for like 20 minutes, having a drink, sitting on the edge of the building, overlooking like Mexico and the resort and everything. It was the coolest fucking experience of my life. Until my buddy got really like nosy and he poked his head around the corner to see what was on the side of these walls. Remember how I said they were glass?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, buddy was giving it to his wife. And we were like, okay, time to go to bed. Time to go to bed. Went straight downstairs, straight to bed, called it a day. It was the wildest experience of my life.
No.
Oh, man. He was like, man, what is on the other side of they were like 10-foot high, like brick walls, and then this sand opening with like didn't understand what the hell it was for, and he poked his head around the corner and it was one of these villa things. We were like, yeah, no, done, see ya.
Oh my
I'm
gosh,
out. Yeah, I'm out.
That's bad. How did walking on a roof remind you of that story? What the heck?
Because you said something about a rooftop and like how did we get up here, and my head went to how the hell did me and my buddy end up on this roof. That's
funny.
It was
That's
just
great.
Yeah, I don't know, it was crazy. But
I don't think I have any crazy rooftop stories, but
nothing.
I mean, I I've gotten drunk before and climbed up buildings before. It was like when I was like
Back when I
stupid
was
and
immature and dumb. Yeah.
yeah, like I had a buddy. He lived in an apartment building, and it was like the fourth or fifth story or something like that. And it was one of those apartment buildings where each apartment had. Oh, did you freeze? No, never mind.
No, you're good. You're good.
Where each apartment had their own little like balcony, like little wood and like a not even a full balcony. It's just like a little ledge.
Yeah.
That with a rail. I've like climbed that stuff before, but I don't think I can do that anymore.
Wait, so you're trying to tell me that you don't got a 6-pack of chicken nuggets? Because that's what I got, baby.
I don't have the 6-pack. I got the keg.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. That's what a buddy said to me the other day. I was like, man, I feel like I'm getting so fat, dude. I've got like a wicked 6-pack. He's like, you don't have a 6-pack. I was like, I do, man. 6-pack of chicken nuggets. But another buddy goes, yeah, it could be worse. You could have the full keg. I was like,
hey, man, you fit more in a keg.
I wouldn't mind a keg going out for a night.
If you're going to a party, who's got the crowd roaring when you walk through the door? The 6-pack guy or the keg guy?
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, episode 1. We'll be back to you next week with the keg. No, sponsored by Michelob Ultra. # beach beer. # I wish it was an ad. # come to my community for my sticker.
There you go.
Oh god.
Imagine the first sponsorship is a beer. That'd be hilarious.
Could you imagine somebody sees this and Michelob's just like, yeah, fuck it, let's sponsor this kid. He went on rooftops in Mexico, baby.
That sounds like a good story. Maybe we can make another one here soon. Oh, that's great. That's there you go. We just found the niche of the podcast, drunk stories. Drunk stories. There you go.
Yeah, you want to come back for a drunk story? Come back, man. I got you covered. Oh god, it's crazy, man. But it's funny, like, I don't know how long we've been going. I never even thought to fucking check it. Do I have my recording
21
up?
minutes.
Oh, yeah,
mine's at like 20 minutes.
I was gonna say, I feel like we've only been talking for like 5 minutes. Like, I feel like 30 to 45.
Oh no, that's why I said like us talking about ourselves is gonna fill the entire time.
Yeah,
this man's over here making a list.
Joke.
Should we talk about what?
I'm literally sitting here with a fucking to-do list. Like, I have it written down. Like, literally says, hold on, I got it. Come on. To do. Like
all the talking points.
I refuse to show you what's on my list of to-dos, but
that's funny.
It's okay.
Well, how far have we made it down the list so far?
Step 1.
Oh god, okay. All right, so a little also known fact, me and Wink have lots of conversations when we talk about editing.
2 minutes.
And if I went through my Discord log of phone calls, it'd probably be the average is probably about an hour, to the point where my wife has said, why is this man not paying you to talk about these? I would make more money talking about the edits than I would actually editing.
Well, on a fair note, in my defense, before we get any further here, half of the conversation is edit. The other half is like Marvel and Loki and why I stubbed my toe earlier today, and
then like, how do you think this podcast was born?
I mean, fair, valid. We're gonna sit down. We're gonna talk about each other. Just kidding. We're gonna talk about drunk stories and Loki.
It's still talking about each other. It's still learning. It's still getting to know. We're still somewhat on topic.
Fair. So I'll ask this one. You don't have to answer it because some people don't like to. Some do. Where are you from?
I'm from the States. Since I have to clarify this, since this is being posted on a Canadian's YouTube channel. No, I'm from the good old Ohio, Ohio. If you look at a map and point in any place, you probably might hit it. Any place that you don't know already on the map is probably a good guess. More specifically, it's the state that's shaped like a heart, even though it kind of doesn't, but it kind of does. Right smack dab in the middle.
Is it actually shaped like a heart?
Yeah, but yeah, like look it up. Look at it's actually it's not like the perfect. I mean, it's like
you got to use your imagination.
It's here, let me see. Do I have a pen? Let me see if I can draw it. It's kind of like
sneak peek into the rest of the shit on his book.
Oh, is there anything on here I shouldn't show?
What the hell kind of book heart is that?
Huh?
That looks like a tongue, dude.
Okay, but it's like it's weird. You'd have to look it up.
Hard.
I'm not an artist. I'm a digital artist. I'm not.
It's not a heart.
I drew that in like 5 seconds, but it's like
that man literally just said, "Hold on,
we're gonna cut this part. We're gonna cut this part."
He goes, "Hey, let me draw a heart."
I had second guessed like I mean, that's not far from. Okay, I don't
That
know.
is not far
It
from a
is kind of
heart,
shaped like a
bro.
heart. If you look up the actual state, it's kind of shaped like a heart. But anyways, um, no. So it's a very. Are you actually looking it up now?
No, to be honest with you, I was adjusting your audio because I realized I turned you a smidgen too high earlier when you thought I was frozen.
Oh, okay, fair. Anyways, so no, I'm from good old Ohio. Not much to say about it. A bunch of cornfields.
It
It's not a
is
very
what it is.
it's not a super popular state, although it's becoming more popular actually. Like I've noticed, like like on a little tangent. I'm speaking of Marvel. I'm a big Marvel fan, and
You just had a
the other
panic
day we were
attack with the word
watching,
Loki because you were trying to go like Loki
and
the
then I realized I
character, and
said
it was
Loki.
like,
Yeah,
okay,
he caught
so
it. Okay, he caught it. Anyways, um, so no, but we were watching like the new Black Widow the other day, and like the very opening scene,
great
she's in
movie, by the way.
Ohio. That's like the state that she lives in is Ohio, and I'm like, why all of a sudden? And that's not the first time. Lately, we've been noticing. Like I was watching, I was watching Titans, the new Titans show, that's based off the Teen Titans, whatever. It's not
Yeah,
the same
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Anyways,
I've actually
like
seen it. I know what you're talking about.
a bunch of parts of that takes place in Ohio, and it's just like all of a sudden we're realizing that there's a lot of places there's like Ohio, or like if you've seen The Boys
Yeah, yeah, Mike.
on Prime,
Actually, really fast. Krista's cousin is the makeup artist for it.
that's dope. That's pretty dope. Little cool fact.
Yeah.
But anyways, you remember the scene where not to get or I guess it's not really graphic, but when the water guy shoot
The guy with the fins on his
the
chest.
fish guy,
Yeah, yeah,
yes,
yeah.
when he screwed up and they sent him out,
Yeah.
they shipped him out to Sandusky, Ohio, which is just north of me. So
I
it's
don't
like,
think you
what the
should
heck?
promote
Why?
that.
No, but it's
We're gonna
just
punish you. We're sending you to Ohio.
hey, Sandusky, Ohio is actually pretty dope. That's where Cedar Point is, and it's a dope theme park. So just so you know, but
Yeah.
no, but it's funny because it is. We are starting to notice it popping up in media, pop culture, or whatever you want to
Yeah,
call it.
yeah.
So, but anyways, that's where I'm from. But I've lived all over the country. But yeah, little
That's
old
crazy.
Ohio. Yeah.
You know
So
Aquaman?
what a I
Like the
don't know
movie?
him personally.
Oh, I do, but
But
not the point. I meant the movie. You're talking about Jason
I
Momoa.
actually haven't seen the Aquaman movie, no.
Okay, so
But
if you ever see it, this is not a spoiler for anybody listening. There's a moment where they're going on a road and a tsunami hits and knocks over a truck. I'm not going to go into
Okay.
any more details because it'll just ruin it. But long story short, that was actually in Petty Harbor, like 15 minutes down the road from me.
oh, they
Yeah.
filmed that there?
Yep. And the new Peter Pan is getting filmed here. And yeah, there's a bunch of places.
I know Canada's pretty big for film, so I mean I guess that makes sense.
Did you ever
but,
watch Frontier? It's like a Viking winter-based TV show.
mm-mm.
No, that's another one. Jason Momoa is in it. Like Aquaman is in that one too as the main, and it's also done here.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so not to get into too much detail, but like you live because I don't know nothing about Newfoundland. I know
First off,
honestly,
I'm gonna correct you there for everybody that's listening from Canada and Newfoundland. It's gonna absolutely hate you. It's not Newfoundland.
that's how I thought you pronounce it.
No. So we're not Newfoundland. We're not.
I didn't say Newfoundland.
No. I know, but the way everybody says it is Newfoundland, New Finland, or New Finland. We have
Okay,
nothing to do with Finland, and we have nothing to do with the Newfoundland. It's Newfoundland.
Okay, say it again.
Do
Oh, now I missed you.
new, Fin,
And
and land,
land.
and say them as fast as you can together.
Newfoundland.
Faster.
Is that not?
You said
Newfoundland?
Newfoundland. Newfoundland. It's not Finland. It's Newfoundland. Newfoundland.
So land, not Lind.
No, Newfoundland.
See that's where it's really confusing because we got like states like England, or not, I guess not even state, like the country England.
Yeah.
Like when you put it in a word, it tends to be more of a lind, even though
Well,
so
it's like
you definitely
Finland.
enunciate the land.
But it's like Finland. Like Finland is Lind, but they're
Yeah.
spelled land the same as we
Greenland.
are.
I guess Greenland would be
Well, it depends.
Would
Some people call it Greenland. Like I would call it
Greenland?
Greenland.
Yeah. See. Okay.
But
So
we are like
so it's
new.
the A. It was the
It's
A that I
A.
wasn't
New, fin,
pronouncing.
and land, and say them as fast as you can. Where are you from? Newfoundland.
Newfoundland.
There you go.
Okay. Okay. That makes more sense.
It's
Anyways,
funny. People in Canada can't even do it, man. It's like everybody's like, "Oh, you're from Newfoundland." It's like, yeah, it's like, okay. So people just gave up and they just say, "Oh, you're a Newfie."
see, I would have if you would have not even said the word and just pointed to a map. I would have originally said Newfoundland.
Yes.
Newfound.
And that's what I mean. Most people do Newfoundland as 3 separate words, or
Well, see, that's the thing is-
Newfoundland.
How do you pronounce your name? Do you say NewfoundWink? You say
No,
NewfoundWink.
right?
Why don't you pronounce
Because
it
it
the way
doesn't
that?
because it doesn't flow nice enough. I can't be
Oh, okay.
Newfoundwink, because it just doesn't.
True.
So it's NewfoundWink, but I also liked it because I did a play on words with the concept. It was this newfound name,
Fair.
so it was NewfoundWink, and
Interesting.
it was just easier and better to keep going with. But yeah.
Well,
But
I'm
that's
sorry
why
for
everybody
the
from
5
now
Canadians
on-
that I pissed off.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
and that's why from now on, and you can do the same thing. It's easier, and it's almost like what we just kind of expect at this point, to just drop it all together and just call people newfies.
Fair. Well, I was more. I think in the context, what I was saying was I don't know much about the area in general. Like I don't. I know like a few provinces in Canada, but that was one of the ones that I would have never guessed about. But that's interesting that I didn't know. Or no, the question I was asking originally was, how would you describe that area? Because when I think like of Canada, well, I guess in general, when you think of Canada, from someone in the States, you think of a lot of wilderness and tundra and stuff like that. Obviously, if you go really north, but like, what is that area like?
I guess it depends on who you're asking. Like in layman's terms, when you actually lay it out, we're rain, drizzle, fog, and snow with a month or two of a bit of sun.
Right.
Our weather is the fucking shits. It is absolute awful. However, that's specifically just weather and location. We are the most easterly province in the whole world. In the whole world. The world is the circle. We're the most easterly province in Canada, to the point where actually, if you go over to Cape Spear at the exact right point and put your foot in the water, you've actually left Canada. You've actually technically entered like you're not a part of like.
Oh, like
you know
the water isn't even.
Well, like
technically...
that's what I mean by like I don't know the actual like measurement of how much water, whatever. But like if you stuck your hand in the water in Ontario, no matter where you do it, you're still within inside of Canada. If you just took a pin and
just
drew
on the
it,
coast, is what you mean, yeah.
But if you drew a pin around all of Canada, around the land, if you stuck your hand in the water, you'd be outside of that pin.
Okay.
Like we are as far east as you can go.
Right.
But our winters are absurd. So we had Snowmageddon, not this winter past, the one before it. We had people like snowshoeing on the rooftops of their neighbors because the snow was level with the top of the rooftops.
That's
like
crazy.
It was insane. But with all of that being said, the way we get described by basically all of Canada, and I think it's probably a fair thing, I would agree with it, is we're the nicest, drunkest, most sexually active, seafood eating partiers who just are all about kindness and having a good time. And that's what we do.
Right.
That's it. Like if somebody says, "Oh, you're a newfie," they assume you drink a lot. They assume you eat seafood a lot. They assume you're a great person, a good laugh, and a kind soul. And that's what it is.
So see, that's funny because like from the States perspective, Canadians are already super kind and like whatever. So is that like
we are that
even
on
more
steroids?
so?
We are that on steroids. Like you go to Ontario or something, like I've seen like Z put a post up the other day in Ontario that he got like held up at gunpoint at a gas station and shit.
Right.
Like if that were to happen here, like my mods made fun of me for it. Like you'd literally get like held up at a gas station and buddy'd be like, "I'm sorry, I gotta take your car, but I'll call you. Give me your number. I'll call you later, let you know where I left it to. But I have to take it right now. Okay, so get out of the car." Like it's just absurd. Like, and we have like our own language called Newfoundlandese, Newfoundlandese, which is a thing in itself. So like, if like, oh god, here's a couple good ones. I'll do the classics. If I said to you, "Yes, bye," what do I mean?
Oh God. Well, I heard yes. So I'm assuming it's like an. Is it partly a like an answer, like if a yes or no, partly, and then some?
It's yes.
It's just yes.
We just put "by" at the end for
Oh
fucking no
God.
reason. So it'd be like,
It's already a short word. Why make it more?
yeah, we put "by" at the end of everything. So to follow that question up, if I said to you, "What are you at by?"
Just where you at? No.
What are you doing?
Oh my God. Where you at by?
What are you at? Not where are you at? What
Oh,
are you
where?
at?
Okay. Where are you at?
Wadia, WHATTA, Wadia. And then it's what are you at? And then we just put "by" at the end of sentences for no fucking reason. So what are you at by? And what are you doing? That's it. That's all it is. And then if I said,
That's
yeah, here's
funny.
a classic. Here's a good one for you. Who knit you?
Who knit you?
Who knit you? Think about it, and this one makes sense. But it's also like makes no fucking sense.
I'm assuming it's like, who are you?
No, that's close. Who are your parents? Who knit you? Who made you? Who created you? Who knit you?
I don't picture knitting when I picture the creation of my existence.
Well,
but...
think about it. You got two things coming together to weave what looks like
I
DNA.
guess.
Who knit
I
you?
guess, yeah.
So you say like who knit you, or it'd be like random things that make a lot of sense, like who's your mother by? And
okay, but who's like when? How is that ever in a conversation? Because I don't think I've ever asked anyone who are your. See, maybe that's also
so
a
you run
difference, is
into
that, like,
you run into your mom's old friend from high school, and you're chatting,
Right.
and they're like, "Oh my God, who are your parents?"
See, okay,
For
see,
us,
now
it'd
I
be
can
like, "Oh my
see.
God, who knit you by?"
Yeah,
I'd be like,
and
"Oh,
that's
that was
probably like a
Penguin."
community thing, because
Right.
I'm assuming it's more of a tight knit community where it's like us, nobody gives a crap who we're
Well,
related to
fair.
in one way.
But like if I'm talking to somebody and I'm having a conversation and they're like, "Oh my God, like I know who your mom and dad are," like, "Who knit ya? Like, who are your parents?" Like, I think
That's
I know
funny.
who the fuck
Yeah,
they are. You know what I mean?
that's funny.
Yeah. So like,
Your own
yeah,
little
we have like our
language.
own language and shit. It's crazy. It's absurd. And then people wonder why I always have words are hard. Like, I literally have my own language that nobody else understands. Like, it's just it's crazy.
Okay, so here's the next question. So in the context of where you're from and the type of background that you have, how connected were you to outside? This is gonna make me sound like you're like some sheltered person, but it's not what I mean. Like,
Did you
just
know what
culture,
electricity was?
like no, not like that, but I mean, like, so as far as culture and like knowing, like, just me from the States or meeting people from anywhere, how different was that? Like, were you connected to people outside of your community more so,
Well,
or
our
like
province is
within
a
the
half.
gaming scene?
Our province is a 500,000 people.
Right.
Everything about my life was just as normal as yours. In
Yeah,
all
but I mean,
aspects
like,
of the world, except for like for me to go somewhere or do anything, you always had to basically fly.
right.
And
You said you live on an island, right? It's like essentially
yeah,
an island, right?
yeah, like you can drive, but you got to drive, and then you got to take the ferry, and the ferry takes like, depending on which one you take,
Right.
8 or 16 hours. It's like if you're going to Florida, you're flying. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Everything about it is normal. There was nothing like culture, pop culture, like trends.
I guess
it
more
was
so,
all
I meant, like, because
normal.
you said it's a very like the way you spoke is different, the way you acted was different. Meeting like people, like, did you have to break any of those the way of talking in order to
No,
enter the content creation scene?
For two reasons. My accent is like a 2 out of 10 compared to what a old school true born and bred newfie would sound like.
You
And
think that's generational?
two things. Yes, and since I was like 17, I lived away playing hockey.
Okay.
So one of two things happened. Canada as a whole fucking loved newfies and loved the way they speak. So it was never weird. It was almost a positive. It was like, I wish I had more of an accent so that I could be like, people are like the old like cliche of like blonde hair, blue eyes. Like people love the newfie accent thing. But when I was away over time, some people would struggle to understand you. So you would say things properly. And eventually over time, it just kind of naturally stepped away. Same thing with ever being in the States or doing anything in the States. It would always be a situation where you like they didn't have that love because they didn't know what was going on and they didn't know what the hell you were saying. So you had to kind of correct it. And because I had to correct it for so long, I really don't have it. The only real one that I have that's like bad is I don't say 3. I say tree, TREE.
Okay.
Like 1, 2, tree, 4, 5, 6. Like, you know what I mean? And that goes back to the old Newfie joke. Why can't a Newfie count to 4? Because there's a 1, 2 tree in the way.
That's great.
Right? So it's like, for me, it wasn't all that hard. And like entering into the scene, like I'm only in it 2 years. So by then, like my accent was pretty much gone. You know what I mean? Like,
see, that's why I think I guess that's what spurred this question on for me, is that for what most of you guys don't or may not know, we all have we have a friend, Fem Fighter, and I've had the same exact conversation with her actually
Canadian
just last
sister
week.
From another mister.
Right, and she's on the other side of it. She's Vancouver.
As far west as you can go.
Literally polar opposite. But I had the same, like, when I speak to you, I can hear it now that I know, but originally, if you would have told me you're Canadian, I probably wouldn't have. It would have taken me a second to guess it. And she almost has like a Southern accent to her in some ways that she talks. So it's funny because you, her, and even our other friend, Biohazard Wife, who's like dead center in the middle, like that's
She's
like
Ontario.
almost covering all aspects of her, the whole spectrum. Even she doesn't necessarily sound fully Canadian. I mean, she probably sounds, I'd say, probably the most. But
so generationally, it's kind of adapting it in itself a little bit, because you're on social media, you're on all these things, you're listening to all these things, you're talking with these people, your podcasts, whatever, that are all out and on the go. You'll naturally adapt and learn from that, whether you want to or you don't. But back in the day, like your parents or your parents' parents, the same with me, didn't really have that, so they would talk to each other. So then their accents were really strong and really difficult. I have people I talk to from where I'm from, I don't know what the fuck they're saying. Like, yes, bye, buddy, going on down to the jig butter, we're gonna go up to the thingy. Yes, all right, come on, we goes, bye, we go down there and grab chicken. And you're just like,
that also kind of does.
Like, I know what I just said, but when he says it as fast as they do,
everything that you just said almost sounds like a hillbilly in the United States. And maybe that also does, and I know that might be like an offensive term, but I don't mean it that way, but it's just in general, like that's
sorry, 2021.
Fair. But it's just maybe that also that's also someone who might not be as connected to the internet as someone from California or Florida or whatever. So maybe we are witnessing like dialects, like not blending, but I guess blending would be a good word.
Yeah, you'll have less extremes.
Yeah. So that is interesting. And I feel like, I mean, like, this is also, I don't know, like, I know that all media is technically international in one way or another. But when I think of Hollywood, I think of the United States. And I don't even mean that like in a like whatever way, but like, is there Canadian media that you listen to, or is it also, I mean, I imagine it's very similar to what I would watch.
In what way? It like when it comes to sports and stuff like that, like when I turn on, like, we have TSN and ESPN and all that stuff, whereas I think you guys have
we have ESPN and all that stuff.
Yeah, but you don't have TSN, do you?
No, we don't. I don't. No, I don't.
Yeah, like TSN is our big one to your ESPN.
Oh, okay, fair.
And then like we have CNN. I don't know if you guys have CNN.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have like CNN and we have like a few things like that, but like we don't have Fox.
Right. So like, I guess I was just meaning like before the age of internet, where would you gather? I don't know. Learn.
Well, what do you mean by age of internet? So like, I'm not that old. Like, okay,
no, I'm not saying 29. I'm not saying
for those
we
of you
are.
out there.
I'm speaking just in terms of we're getting into like a history lesson. At this point.
So like for me, I don't know if I know the answer to the question, because like for like regards to my parents and my parents' parents and things like that, like I don't really know the answer to that question. But like for me specifically, like as far back as at least I can remember, like I grew up with and for those of you that know this sound, I apologize in advance because it's just gonna bring heartache and pain, but the
dial-up.
Yeah, it's dial-up, and that's what I had. Sit down, NHL 94 playing dial-up. You had to turn the thing on, right? And like that's what I had. But with that being said, having all that for me, like all of these connections and all these things was pretty normal. But like from my parents or my parents' that was when our dialects were really strong. That was when it was very like fishing. Like fishing was what this
Right.
province was built on. It wasn't technology. It wasn't drought. You go out, you get underwater, you fish, you come back, you turn the fish around, you sell the fish, you eat the fish, calls it a day. Fish, fish, fish,
Right.
fish, fish. So I don't know. It's different. It's interesting, but that's just kind of where like it's sat for us, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean that's basically what I was meaning. Just because I don't know, when I picture like entertainment industry and stuff, I just picture Hollywood in the United States. So I don't know what someone who doesn't live in the United States if they're consuming the same entertainment.
Well, in my
And
personal opinion, I don't know if other Canadians will agree with me, but in my personal opinion, if you think of California and LA and all that, you think of Vancouver up here.
right,
If you think of New York and all the craziness and blah blah blah, you think of Toronto up here.
right,
We don't really have the like Floridas and Miami's. Like we don't really have like that stupid hot 24/7, like your Texas and stuff.
well, yeah, I mean,
But then like your in betweens pretty much match results. Like your Wisconsin is our Manitoba and like random shit like that.
right. You just don't have the South. That's
Yeah,
literally the American
right.
South.
So like for us, it was like when you say like you picture Hollywood like as the States, like so do I. Like you know what I mean? Like I picture
Yeah.
like if you say where's Hollywood, I go LA.
No, yeah, yeah. I guess I kind of got off of a tangent there, but I was mostly just meaning just in general of like because you said the internet and connecting like that really influenced your dialect of how you talked and stuff. And I was
Yeah.
like, well, before that, because obviously there was a before that for us, where I would just you're close to my age to where the internet wasn't really big in my life until my late teens.
Yeah,
So
that's probably fair.
that's still a good chunk of my life that I wasn't connected to, I would say, the outside world as much. And even now, I'm more connected to the outside world. When I say outside world, I just mean outside my immediate where I
Bubble.
can travel from
Yeah.
my car. Like just meeting people from like when I went to college, that was probably my biggest when I went to Florida, that was the biggest eye opener for me as far as like what really goes on, what other cultures I guess are like.
Yeah.
And that's something that's always fascinated me is just like how did before the age of the internet, how did you
Yeah,
like
like
how did
see,
you
like
see
it's
that?
funny
Yeah.
though, because like when you say that, like when I went to the University of Saint FX, like that was my big eye opener too, because like for me, like it was the number 4 party school in Canada. Like
Right.
all we fucking did was party. Like school wasn't a thing. Like we were in a dorm where it was all guys, and then there was a dorm that was all girls, but it was the same building with a door you open. So it was literally like open the door, 75,000 women sitting in like a room by themselves. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
and like that was crazy. But like for me, like it's funny you say that because like low teens, things like that, like before the internet was like a main aspect of it, like myself, for me, man, I was such a simple kid. Like for me, it was go to school, come home, go to sports, play road hockey,
Right.
ride my bike, skateboard, shit like that. Like that was what I did. That was all I ever did.
Right.
Like I didn't care. Like I would go to my buddy's house and like bang on his door. Is Ryan home? No, he's not home. Do you know where he is? I think he
I
went
feel
to
like
the
that's a
skate
lot
park.
of our childhoods though. I think that's pretty synonymous
But that's
to
not a thing
like
anymore. You take out your phone. Hey,
it's
what are you
not.
doing?
It's
Where you
not,
go? You
though.
want to go here? Yeah, okay, we'll pick you up. Like I'll get my mom to get you. Like no, like I got on my bike
Even
and I
yeah.
rode 25 minutes up the road to bang on your
Right.
door for you to not even be home.
We live in that awkward that awkward generation that I feel like we grew up completely disconnected from the internet, or at
100%.
least if I speak for myself, to where now it's like the biggest part of
100%.
our lives.
I wake up and
Yeah.
from break to dawn, especially being in the industry, from break till dawn, at some point I'm on my phone. And what's sad, and I know people won't believe this, but what's sad is probably 75% of the time I'm on my phone, from the minute I wake up until the minute I go to bed, is working in some sort of capacity. Chatting with you on a chat, watching Femme Fighter stream to hang out and network with her and chill out and
Right.
let her know that like I still love you, girl. Like I'm not ignoring you. Like I'm watching, I'm doing whatever. Texting a company about potentially working with and partnering with, to whatever it is.
Right.
75% sitting down at my computer doing this. Every time I'm involved in the internet, 75% of it is work. And what's funny is if I quit this industry tomorrow, I can almost guarantee you I would be on my phone about a quarter of the amount of time I am now. Because I would get
That's
up,
fair.
I'd do school. If I was to watch a stream, it ain't going to be at my computer like it is now. It's sitting in bed on Twitch with my Fire Stick and a bowl of fucking mac and cheese sitting on my bare belly like this, watching somebody play a game, like a TV
Right.
show. You know what I mean? Like that's
Right.
what I would do it for. That's why, like, I always say to people, like, don't get me wrong, I love commenters. I love people that engage. It makes life so much easier for the streamer, and it makes you feel a little bit of extra love and hope because you're like, okay, they're hanging out, they're enjoying it, they're doing whatever. But I fucking love lurkers. Everyone gets pissed off at lurkers and calls them out. That's what I love, because I'm like, if I've got 25 people in here watching and there's only 5 talking, that means there's 20 people somewhere in the world sitting down, just relaxing, chilling out, and enjoying what I'm doing.
It's hard to be a Twitch viewer. I feel like, like commenting all the time and stuff. I mean,
100%.
I couldn't do it.
But that's my point. Like, don't get me wrong. If somebody's tinier, pop in, say hello, say what's up, and then let them know you're there and all that stuff, and then go back to lurking. Like, I would do that. Like, but like when I turn on Symph and Tim and them, I don't fucking even.
That's what I was about to say.
Comment.
I feel like a lot of people need to realize that like that really is the true form of consuming content. Is not necessarily like Twitch has that beautiful engagement that other forms of media don't have. How many YouTube videos have you watched where you've never
commented
left
on
a
every
comment?
single thing? Yeah.
Never. I can't tell you the last time I commented.
How many times have you done
video.
it and not hit the like button, but yet you go back to watch this guy's content every week?
Yeah. Even just subbing sometimes is an interaction that like
I watched multiple people on YouTube up until like this year where I realized it mattered. I watched people on YouTube. I never subbed. I didn't care to sub. Yeah. I don't want the alert on my phone. I don't want my phone to be going off, ding, 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 ding. I go, oh, I'm bored. Let's go see what Ryan Austin HD is doing.
Well, that's the funny thing is
7 videos I missed.
Even subbing isn't necessarily activate that. You still got to hit the bell just to even get that notification. But the funny thing is that like for me,
well, subbing gives you recommended.
I have to get right. I have to watch almost like 20 videos from a person before I make that realize that I'm like, I'm gonna sub to this person. That's a lot of pressure on a content creator.
On an average creator who's not huge and has a full team behind him, that's a year of work before you say, okay, I'm gonna sub.
Right.
It's a year.
Exactly. And that's the big guys too. There's thousands of small guys where like
no, but what I mean is like 20 videos.
Yeah,
they might be able to do that in like a month or two. Video every second or third day. Yes. Yeah, but like a smaller
even a lot of those
like,
guys have been doing it for years, to where they already have that backlog.
Yeah,
it's not even. Yeah,
you go on and you already search up those 20 that you. Yeah, well, fair. But I just mean in general, that was still multiple months, or for even smaller people, a year of doing content before they earned your sub.
Right. Like here, I'm going to give you an example actually real fast. Someone who I've been addicted to, literally addicted to, I've watched so many videos of them, is Markiplier. Have you ever heard of Markiplier?
Markiplier?
Yeah. Have you ever heard of him? He's got 30 million subscribers. He's an OG YouTuber. Like he does gaming content.
Okay.
I have watched probably like 30 to 40 videos in the last month from him, just because I'm just like this, like I'm really enjoying his content. I am not subscribed to him. I literally just went to his channel and clicked on it. I'm not subscribed, and it's just like I've been enjoying his content,
right?
And but it's like
it's crazy nowadays because there's a lot of people like, I'm just gonna bring it up on my phone for a second and I'll show people because it's easier. But like, there's a lot of things for me also where like when I come into this, like I get a lot of things on my phone where it's like all these alerts are like recommended,
right?
Like what's buddy's name? I don't want to give him props. If people know who he is, he is who he is. But that BBB guy, do you know who I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
The amount of times that I would go into my thing and it'd be like blank just posted a video about Z Laner, recommended you watch. I'm like, no. But then there's other people that pop up 24/7 that I'm like, ooh, great video. Ooh, I'm curious. And I watch it flat out and I just don't think to hit the like button. And I think that's where some people do some things that are really, really cool and really creative when it comes to like Courage and Nate Shot. For me, have kind of flipped the script on a lot of things with like the 100 Thieves content, where they don't say, hey, please don't forget, guys, to hit the subscribe and the like button and come back each week because we're going to have more. They go, hey, by the way, you're watching the video. I know you're enjoying it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'll wait. No. Like, I'll wait. You just go do it. You won't miss anything. I'll wait. And all of a sudden, they make a big joke and a big push of it that you're like, oh, yeah, right. And then you do it. And like everybody else is like so afraid to offend people nowadays that it's like it's all about being like, hey, don't forget, guys, please hit the like button. Like, no, like you're not subbed. We got 60% of the people who watch this video not subbed. I know you weren't subbed and I know you're enjoying it. It costs you nothing. Hit the subscribe button. Right. Even if you don't want notifications, hit the subscribe button, turn off the button. Just hit it.
Yeah, that's fair. I think back then I was the kind of guy that I didn't want to have 1,000 people in my sub feed. And
I'm still like that. I have OCD, like it's going absurd. Like I play Call of Duty and Apex, and that stupid little dot that says, hey, you've got a new attachment for your gun that you can't find and it won't go away drives me. My phone.
It's not even the notifications, just like the bar.
Phone. See this? See that one red dot? I have.
Oh, you don't want to look at mine then.
No, I have 3. I can't handle it. I will go through my phone the minute we end this. I will go through my phone and check every single one of them. If I get big enough that I have hundreds and thousands of people commenting and liking and doing everything, I will have to, because of my own mental sanity and OCD, I will have to turn on like the only messages from people you follow, only alerts from people you follow. Right. Like the shit where like I don't like, if I went on my phone and all of these things were red, I would have literally like snap my phone in half. I just can't do it. I can't do it. It's not an option.
Yeah, I've given up at this point on mine. Like my Discord notifications and stuff are absolutely insane.
I nearly killed Krista. I went on and she had 4,615 unread emails.
Oh God, that's where I was gonna say like, you don't want to see mine because mine is like.
If you show me, I'll come through the TV. I'll book a plane ticket just to come down and click every single one of your things.
I think I've recently cleaned up my thing so it doesn't show it anymore. I don't have my email on my homepage. But
I don't know. I just can't do it. And like 90% of apps have mark all as red. Just click the button.
That's true. That makes it a lot easier. Actually, in some apps, I don't know if you have an iPhone, but I think in some apps you can do it from the.
We have the same phone, I think.
I thought you can do it from like the actual homepage, but I guess not. Maybe not. Whatever.
But on a side note, we're coming up on 57 minutes.
An hour.
Yeah, which is crazy to think because we said we'd do 30 to 45 and top out in an hour max.
They go by fast.
She went quick, but I think it was good. I enjoyed it. I hope you guys. I hope you got this too. Now this is gonna sound weird because we're not totally sure, and it's our first attempt at an outro, but I think we're going to try to do it, at least one a week, ideally, like posting wise. Yeah, we're going to try to do at least one a week. They'll always be on the YouTube. So make sure you guys hit the subscribe button because 90% of you haven't and you have to, and I'll wait.
We had this conversation already. Or wait till we put out 20 podcasts, I guess.
Yeah,
maybe. I don't know.
So long story short, hit the sub button. As we do more of these on the channel, we're going to take an effort and time to actually put the Wink and Ryan show. It's going to have its own separate playlist on the main screen. It's going to have its own list. So you'll be able to go in and say, okay, I already seen episode 1. I already seen episode 2, so on and so forth, and cycle through them. So it'll be easy for you guys to do that. So please make sure you do that. Don't forget, because I'm going to be pissed if you don't. And well, Ryan's too nice, so he'll just be disappointed. But yeah, so make sure you guys do that. Make sure you hang out. And
on a side note, I want to say this real fast. If there's anything that we talked about in this podcast that you want to follow up or know anything more about, please hit that in the comment section. We kind of dove over a lot of things, like we can talk about his hockey and stuff. Maybe if you want to know more about that, or just in general. I know we've glanced over a lot of different stuff, so just make sure to let us know down below.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter what it is. It can be a generic topic about games, what we think, what we're doing. Editing, questions you have for editing, tips and tricks, anything like that. Ryan can dive in and help on that, and so on and so forth. So yeah, just anything you guys want to know, anything you'd like to hear about, anything like that. Why the hell Ryan is still putting up with me, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Put it down there, man, and hang out. Normally with Ryan, I say hit the sub button and a little thing comes up, but I don't think we have a thing, so maybe he'll be creative. And
we'll put something
see.
down there.
Yeah.
We'll have something down there.
So make sure you guys do that. Make sure you hang out. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And like I said, there's a chance we'll be on Spotify, and if we are, then we'll see you over there.
Yeah, I figure out the logistics of that, but for sure.
Yeah.
We appreciate you guys hanging out with us on this first one.
Big
And
facts.
we rambled a lot.
All right, guys. Much love. Peace. And we'll see you in the next one.